In ancient Egypt, a cat wasn't just an animal.
To get creeped out, let's talk about Bastet, who was a goddess in the ancient Egyptian religion. She was
A lot of places around the world look at cats, particularly black cats, as bad luck.
Back in the day, I would have hurt myself and you trying to get out of the way of this cat. How many of y'all grew up with the same superstition?
Did you know that I will sometime sneak a peek through the eyes of cats?
So this is another, like, what the fuck session with a cat.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Huh? Yes.
Look at him.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needed.
In ancient Egypt, a cat wasn't just an animal. It was a sign of a goddess in your home. Welcome back to my extended 30-part series, 30 Goddesses in 30 Days. And today we will be discussing the Egyptian goddess Bastet. She is going to rule over cats, protection of women, also the home. She also is going to rule over things like dance, music, and pleasure. And I did want to add something in before we get into her main myth, because I do think this question will come up and is something, definitely was mentioned in the Sekhmet video. So with Sekhmet, Hathor, and Bastet, they are going to be closely linked, and they're going to be an expression of raw, divine feminine power. It's just that they're not the exact goddess. It's a little bit more like complicated and layered. You can kind of think about it as like the Morrigan, but it's not exactly like that. You know how the Morrigan has 3 different faces and they're kind of shifting and changing? That is kind of how they're seen together. So like you have Sekhmet, which is going to represent, raw power, also like righteous fury. And then Hathor is more about love and harmony. And Bastet is going to be more about like guardianship and, protection and domestic peace. And it's really showing how, feminine power can move from like wrath to love to protection depending on the needs of the world. So I did just want to kind of give that context of how they are associated with each other. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and get into it. Bastet's story is going to start out long ago in ancient Egypt. And at this time, a lot of people believed that the world was going through this constant balancing act between order and also chaos. So it was said that the sun god Ra would travel through the darkness at night so the sun could rise again. And he would have to, try to avoid these different things that were happening at night, like intruders and illness and all these unseen threats. And Bastet was really supposed to work as the guardian for the threshold of that transition point between day and night. First, Bastet was seen as a lioness. She was seen as big and powerful and terrifying, but as time started to shift and, people became more settled, they started living in homes, the threats kind of changed and they weren't as obvious. And because of this, Bastet transforms into the cat. So it's not going to be like she's, downsizing or having a smaller role or even becoming weaker. It's just that she's, transforming with the times. And so, cats, they're very alert, and they move quietly through the night. And they're also able to see a lot of the things that humans miss. And that's really how she was understood. Ultimately, people believed that Bastet moved through their home at night. And, she was keeping those dangers away. So you wouldn't always see her, but you would feel that sense of safety. And oftentimes when she was worshipped, it was not out of fear. It was more of like a joyous occasion. Like there is an ancient festival in Egypt that was held for her. I believe it was twice a year that they would have this festival. But it seemed like so much fun. A lot of the time she was celebrated with music, dance, and different perfumes, and it was, you know, a really joyous occasion. You look at Bastet and what she represents and her symbolism. She is definitely going to be a goddess of boundaries, like a lot of cats that I know. And she is going to be a goddess that rules over that liminal space between dark and light. And also, she really does show us that, you know, power doesn't always have to be loud, and really peace is all about awareness. But I would say one of my favorite things about her is, you know, showing us really that safety doesn't have to be about domination, and that sometimes it really is just about, you know, holding your own and having your own presence. Lastly, different ways to honor Bastet. So if you look at like the ancient Egyptians and traditional offerings that were made to her, it would be things like, you know, cat amulets or different images of cats. Also, any type of milk or wine or flowers. And I think I did mention in her festival that like perfumes and scented oils were used. She is going to be closely associated with that if you would like to, you know, make that type of offering. And also remember, because, you know, when I was doing a lot of this research, I mean, cats were just very highly esteemed and revered in ancient Egypt. And they weren't just seen as like pets. They really were seen as protectors. And that's why we have, you know, so much proof and documentation of them being, you know, mummified and buried and also mourned. Also, different devotional acts that you can do to really embody Bastet and honor her would be things like, you know, cats do. They're, you know, resting without guilt, but also caring for animals, and really, you know, making your home beautiful and respecting your home. There is a ritual that I do want to share. I think I might do, because I want to do a part 2 for Asase Ya. I want to do like traditional offerings, but I might do a part 2 to this too, because I do want to share a ritual. I was talking last night with my boyfriend, because he has 2 cats and I've just been so obsessed with them lately. I've always been a dog person outside of TikTok. My business that I started a few years ago, it's centered around dogs, and I've spent my whole life around dogs. My mom's rescued hundreds of dogs. She was known as the dog lady. But here recently, I've been getting very acquainted with cats, and their energy is so different than dogs, but I appreciate it and I love it. And last night I was, you know, reading him different things, and I said, you know, I should do a ritual with the girls, you know, his 2 cats and the home. And I thought that would be really sweet. And right when I said that, his cat Venus, who is definitely for the girls, she did a little meow. So I definitely might share that ritual and just do like a quick little 1-2 minute video. But with that being said, that is all I have for today, and I will be back with another goddess tomorrow.
A lot of places around the world look at cats, particularly black cats, as bad luck. But did you know that's actually not true? Did you know that black cats, or whenever you see a black cat on your path, it actually means good luck or prosperity is coming to you? So it really depends on where you're from, but a lot of people look at black cats as superstitious, and people just get so afraid of cats. Now, I've always been a cat person. Now, I don't mind dogs, but I am definitely a cat person. I've always been gravitated toward cats, and I believe my personality is more like cat-like, because I don't like to be bothered, you know, and I like to do my own things, and I find myself resonate when it comes to cats, and I always gravitate towards Goddess Bastet. So today we're talking about Goddess Bastet. Hey y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome.
Back in the day, I would have hurt myself and you trying to get out of the way of this cat. How many of y'all grew up with the same superstitions I did? My grandma, the one who drilled it into my head, said, child, if you see a black cat, you better get out of its way. You better haul ass. But that's what I used to do, looking silly as hell. As I began watching nature, I started learning a whole lot. I always wanted to know why they always land on their feet, why they say they have 9 lives, why they always disappearing when I see them, coming out of nowhere. This literally happened to me the other day. Look, this me sitting in my car in the driveway, sitting there pondering on a move I wanted to make. I'll look up and look what's coming in the driveway. After I snapped this photo, I got out the car because I was trying to take a video of it. The cat was gone. It was not under my car. Unless it flew, it couldn't have went in that backyard that fast. But like I said, they travel between dimensions. Cats have been worshipped, mystified, as well as feared across many different cultures for many centuries. From ancient Egypt to modern folklore, they've always had an otherworldly presence about them. Cats have an unnatural ability to survive certain situations. I'm talking about situations that other beings would not survive. This is why they say cats have 9 lives. Which I know on a deeper level, 9 holds esoteric meaning. 9 is the number of completion, the unseen, and higher consciousness. Number 9 is the highest single-digit vibration. It also represents cycles, rebirth, and transformation. Just like a cat, which seems to cheat death. I know cats are real spiritual and they exist between worlds, like I've been saying. Ancient cultures saw cats as beings who could reincarnate over and over and over again. It wasn't just about dodging death in one lifetime. It was about their ability to return, always finding their way back. You ever watch a cat that's staring at something that you can't see that's there? But you can tell there's something there. Sometimes they might randomly bolt into another room, like they chasing a ghost. That's because they probably did. Cats are natural energy sensors. They're highly sensitive to frequencies beyond human perception. Cats can see spirits, entity, and energies that exist beyond the physical realm. Cats act as certain guardians and they keep certain energies away from your house. This is why cats tend to sleep in doorways or even on your chest. They're literally protecting portals. I started studying the ancient Egyptians. That's when I learned about cats. Ancient Egyptians worshipped cats as divine beings. They knew that they could travel between the spirit world and the physical world effortlessly. Cats move in silence, almost like they levitating or some shit. Whoever notice how you don't never hear a cat walking? That's why everybody said they sneaky. They can sense literal shifts in energy. Things like impending danger or someone's true intention. Did y'all know they have healing frequencies in their purr? Their purr promotes healing in bone and tissue. Just telling y'all what science say. Yeah, I know I don't just go off of what science say. Most people with a cat can probably attest to this. Cats have deeply intuitive bonds with their chosen people. They have an independent, untamed nature. Some ancient cultures say that cats were never fully domesticated. Literally just chose to live amongst us humans. You didn't choose your damn cat. Your cat chose you. That was based off your energy alone. So if a cat has entered your life, especially randomly, it might be protecting you from something unseen. Could be going through a spiritual awakening and they're here to guide you because you know they are spiritual guides. Cat might also be symboling to you need to gain more awareness, intuition, or independence. So yeah, cats are not bad luck. Contrary to what the elders taught us, they're guardians, they energy workers, they're spiritual protectors. Walk between worlds, they see what we can't. They remind us that reality is more mysterious than what we think. If you got a cat or one randomly walks up to you, pay attention. A lot of times there's a message. I want to know, have y'all ever experienced something unexplainable with a cat? Make sure y'all get in the comments and let me know. And if you enjoy all things deep thought, you live near or in the Atlanta area, make sure y'all come on out to my Puff and Paint event February 28th and March 1st. We're gonna have food, a live DJ, painting, indulging in your favorite activity, judgment-free zone, and of course dope conversations with a dope soul like myself. Shout out to everybody who already got their tickets. I'm excited to see y'all. Fellas, we got a lot of ladies coming. I'm not trying to play love connection or nothing, but we need y'all to come balance some of this energy out. I want to see y'all there too. As always, peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Everybody with anxiety, you should talk to your water before you go to sleep.
Yeah. It heal you. Just like the cat. The black cat. But everybody think the black cat is bad luck. But the black cat is actually good. Because the black cat absorbs negative energy. And the black cat is divine feminine. And nobody can control the black cat like you can't control the bitch. But everybody want to control the bitch. But the bitch is divine feminine.
We all do.
No, you can't control the bitch. But everybody want to control and they want to make the bitch submit. But the bitch wasn't meant to submit. Like the black cat ain't meant to submit. Right? But I don't think you understand. It's a healer. Like the woman is a healer. When a cat come up on you and it heal you. A lot of people don't know this, right? And then when there's a black cat, if it's negative energy in your house, it will absorb it in the skin for you, right? And it fights spirits and sin, right? A cat can travel to every dimension and it can see it while it's right here, sort of like a turtle. You know how a turtle can go on land and go in the water? It's a spiritual animal too.
Now, in the spiritual community, goddesses, witches, or wise women, because you know that's what a witch is technically, a wise woman, we respect cats a whole lot because we know the power and we know what it represents. Now, there are different rituals that you might have to do where you have to include catnip, right? Now, you would use catnip for the person or whatever it is to be more playful, so it's not too harsh, it's more playful, right? Or sometimes you might need cat hair or bones of a cat, you know, but or a cat candle, depending on the type of work that you're doing. But this video here is basically to explain to you guys the importance of honoring, you know, the animal lives, because a lot of them actually represents different spirits. So for example, dog is like, you know, Snoop Dogg works with dogs in his music a lot, but really he's pushing Anubis, and we will talk about Anubis later on, and he's the god of the underworld. But cats are very important. And when it comes to Bastet, I've been working with Bastet for a very long time. I've always gravitated toward cats, and when I had my cat Shango, his name was Shango, just the cutest cat ever. But when I had my cat, I started tapping into working with Bastet because I started having dreams about Bastet, or actually not necessarily having dreams about her, but having dreams about myself living in Egypt and, you know, experiencing the life in Egypt. So I thought it was very interesting that I would start having dreams about that when I got the cat. So then I just started doing more research on Bastet, and I felt like her energy was kind of calling to me, right? So now Bastet is a goddess that actually was worshipped back in the day, still is till this day. A lot of people still worship her, still work with her, work with the energy, and she's a goddess of protection, just like the young lady says. And just like she says in the other video, a lot of the goddesses basically are dual, like they have dual, you know, so like two sides, right? So just like Ezuli Dantor, she is both loving and also she is protecting. She'll go to war if she has to. Bastet is the same way. She's a god of protection. She's also a god of beauty and all that stuff. So she really, really loves perfumes and also milk. So a lot of milk baths, you know, are really good if you try to work with her for like beauty, confidence, and all that stuff. And if you're someone who struggles with boundaries, I highly recommend working with her because she will definitely help you put some boundaries in place, because she does not play about that. And you guys know how cats are. Cats have boundaries. They'll set boundaries. They'll come to you if they want to, and they'll stay away if they don't want to come to you. They literally will not mess with you. And that's one of the reasons why I love cats, because I kind of sort of am like that. When it comes to like my personality, I'm more like a cat. Like when I'm with you and I want to give you the love and everything, I will give you the love as if you're the only person in the world that matters. But then when I'm not in the mood, I don't want nothing to do with you type stuff. And I've always been like that since I was a kid, and I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitate towards cats a lot, because cats are very independent and they don't need that much love, right? Like you don't need to be on top of them 24/7 like a dog. So anyways, let's get into more videos.
To awaken our inner Bastet energy is to hold the power of attracting a deep, purring love, all while inflicting fierce boundaries. If you want to know how to awaken your inner Bastet energy, keep listening because we're going to get into it. All right. So if this is your first time here, I am Regal Essence. I am Queen TV. I am Queen TV After Dark. I am Life is a Love Goddess. I am Life is a Laid Back Mom. I'm your Crystal Healer and Dilla. I'm your ray of sunshine in the afternoon time. And I'm somebody's pre-K teacher and ABA therapist. Hey, booze. Hey. So tonight we're getting into a little bit of Queen TV After Dark because we are going to get into a very powerful but dark feminine archetype. So I've been asking my ancestors which one of them wanted to come through first, or next, I should say. I've been asking my ancestors which one of them wanted to come through next, and what she wanted me to tell about her story. So Bastet has been coming to me, and she wants me to get into a little bit of how the powers that be have separated the two identities of Sekhmet and Bastet. And they want to portray Bastet as a cute little domesticated kitten, soft and sweet and nice. And basically, she wants me to get into how the feminine energy can be soft, but also powerful as well. All right. So the true nature of Bastet is to integrate our softness along with our strength, right? And the separation of the two is considered a spiritual and political act of suppression, okay? And it's designed to cause people to feel as if they have to make a choice between being soft or being strong. But we don't have to. We can actually hold both of those same truths simultaneously, all right? So let's get a little bit into what harnessing or awakening our Bastet energy will do for us, okay? First and foremost, it is going to awaken our cat-like intuition, all right? So the ancient Egyptians revered cats as living masters of the unseen world, and they were a spiritual metaphor of the goddess. So Bastet is an intuitive guardian who sees through all deception, okay? So when you awaken your Bastet energy, you are awakening that part of your intuition that allows you to see through all deception and embrace the fact that you can see through all deception, okay? Also, it allows you to perceive threats that are not seen, right? So it heightens your discernment with people and things and situations around you, all right? Also, Bastet energy is about reclaiming your power to trust your quiet gut level knowing, right? Being more internal, right? Trusting your internal gut feelings over external data, okay? So really, really, really tap it into your intuition, all right? Also, she teaches us to embrace our boundaries unapologetically, right? She does it in the way of, she teaches you how to put boundaries in place like a cat would, unapologetic. She teaches that your no is simply that, no, right? She reminds us that a cat does not debate or worry about their boundaries. When a cat doesn't want to be bothered, it simply gets up and it walks away, right? And you guys will see I am referring to my notes because I don't want to miss anything. Also, our Bastet energy helps us harness our sacred sensuality, right? Sacred sensuality and joy is a revolutionary act. And listen why. Goddess Bastet is the goddess of perfume, dance, and joy, teaching that pleasure is not a distraction from the divine, but in actuality, a doorway to it, right? In Christianity, we are taught that, we have to suffer, we have to put off pleasure, things of that nature. But in actuality, those who do not know how to seek their own personal pleasure will always seek pleasure outside of them, thus giving their power away, okay? Also, she teaches us that worship through joy. Her ancient festivals were ecstatic mass rituals of raising the collective vibration through the power of joy, okay? And also she teaches us that the body is a temple. It is second nature for those of us of royalty to beautify our homes, right? To view beautifying our homes and our bodies as a spiritual practice. It is a spiritual declaration that you are a divine being worthy of a beautiful, joyful reality. Get into it. Choosing joy is a revolutionary act because it goes against the systems that want us to be stuck in misery, right? Because if we're stuck in misery, we're easier to control. Think about it, all right? Also, she wants us to harness our inner Bastet energy because there has been a war on the goddess. Now, in Christianity, they demonize the black cat, and in embracing your Bastet energy, you're embracing your black cat energy. They demonize the black cat to be something of evil, right? And they've even made a mockery of spiritual women by calling us cat ladies and things of that nature, because most witches did have cats, and they label cats as just a familiar for witches, right? Also, She wants to ensure that we realize that on our path to awakening our inner Bastet energy, awakening your inner Bastet energy, it is an act of rebellion. Okay, you are establishing sacred boundaries, right? You're learning to guard your energy with the fierceness of a lioness and learning to say no without any guilt. She's also teaching you to honor your intuition and practice trusting your inner cat knowing above the noise of the world, right? So just knowing that I can trust my gut. I don't have to listen to those outside of me, right? Also, she's teaching us to reclaim our joy, right? Treat self-care and sensual delight as a sacred ritual of self-worth. Remember, you guys, it's okay to feel good. It's okay to know what things you like. It's okay to know what things feel good to you, right? That is your sacred divine duty, and we cannot be cut off from that, okay? Also, she teaches us to integrate sacred rage, right? So remember we talked about embracing the kitty, right? The kitten side of you, the soft side, but also being able to embrace the fierce lioness when need be, right? So she is teaching us that to suppress our rage or anger of injustice is a way of cutting off our channel to our inner roar, right? So it's okay to be upset about things that are unjust around you, right? And it's okay to fuel your actions around the things that you are passionate about. Speak up, speak your truth, right? And don't be afraid to embrace your inner roar as well as your little inner kitty, all right? So that's all I got for you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this teaching on the Bastet goddess energy, and share this video with a friend. Comment below, and remember, I love you. Peace.
Want to get creeped out? Let's talk about Bastet, who was a goddess in the ancient Egyptian religion. She was worshipped as early as in the 2nd dynasty, and in ancient Greek religion was known as Ailuros. She was originally worshipped as a lioness goddess, a role shared with other deities as well, such as Sekhmet, which I will talk about in a different video. Eventually, Bastet and Sekhmet were characterized as two aspects of the same goddess, kind of like two sides of the coin. Sekhmet represented the powerful warrior and protector. Bastet, who started being depicted as a cat, started representing a more gentler nature. Some believed that Bastet meant she of the ointment jar. This ties in with this goddess being associated with certain protective ointments. Alabaster, the name of it, may also come from this goddess. Bastet was originally viewed as an ancient lioness goddess, warrior goddess specifically, of the sun, and she was worshipped throughout most of ancient Egyptian history. Later, she became the cat goddess, which is familiar today. She was then depicted as the daughter of Ra and Isis. He also had a son named Machis with the deity named Ptah. If I'm saying any of this wrong, I don't even care. Just tell me, but I'm doing my best. So she was protector of Lower Egypt, she was defender of the king and of the sun god Ra, and she was also associated with the Eye of Ra. She's also been depicted fighting an evil snake named Apep, which was an enemy of Ra. She's also related to one of the oldest Egyptian goddesses that was considered the Eye of the Moon. Bastet was also a goddess of fertility and childbirth, probably because of the fertility of domestic cats. Images of her were often created from alabaster. She was also the goddess of protection from evil spirits and contagious diseases, so she was just good news. She was depicted as a lioness, but she was also sometimes depicted as like a woman's body with the head of a lion. It was 2,000 years later that it started to be more of a cat-like being or a woman with a cat head. Cats in ancient Egypt were highly revered. This was in part due to their ability to catch rodents, which were a threat to key food supplies. Also because they could get snakes, especially cobras, which are dangerous. Cats of royalty would be dressed in golden jewelry and would be allowed to eat from the plates of their owners, which is just so cool. Because of this sacredness of cats, they would often be mummified and then buried next to their owners. More than 300,000 mummified cats were found when Bastet's temple was excavated. There would also sometimes be specific burial sites for cats. A massive festival that honors this goddess. The town would attract like 700,000 visitors, no children, only adults. There would be music, song, dancing, and they appeased the goddess with feasts of drunkenness. Follow me to hear about Sekhmet.
For me.
Now, I don't know if you guys saw my video of the psychics connecting to cats, but I talk about how cats are actually connected to the woman. Now, back in the days, a lot of women, a lot of mothers would feed cats their breast milk. And now, because of that, a lot of cats would basically decide to just protect the home of those mothers who have fed them breast milk. And sometimes, not even sometimes, cats are actually able to go in and out of realms, in and out of dimensions. Now, this is just in my opinion, and based on what I've read, I believe that cats are able to go in and out of dimensions. And also another thing that I discovered is that apparently cats just kind of just adapt to the whole meow, because that wasn't like a thing that they do, right? You know how like they have the big cats in the jungles and stuff? They don't do that. Only the cats, you know, domesticated cats, that goes meow. And based on what I heard about cats, the only reason why they do that is that when they realize that if they go meow, you know, to humans, then humans pay attention to them and humans will feed them. Because at one point cats actually didn't want to be, you know, domesticated cats. Like they didn't want to be in the house and everything. They want to be out there and do whatever they want, right? But they realized that, okay, well, if we come around and if we meow, if we purr and all those things, then humans are going to feed us. And that's kind of how they evolved into that. But I think a lot of cats, in my opinion, and based on like my connection with cats, a lot of cats don't want to be bothered with humans. If anything, they want us to leave them alone. But of course, you know, we love cats because they're cute. So yeah, a lot of cats does go in and out of dimensions. I told you guys all the time about my cat, Shango. I believe that he be going in and out of dimensions. And when I first got Shango, I actually got him after my father passed away, because I was like, you know what, I was going through it. I was really going through it. And I was like, I need something to love. I need something that's going to depend on me, so I can, you know, I didn't want a child because I'm like, this is too much responsibility. I also didn't want a dog because I travel a lot. So I was like, look, I need something that is going to be there, you know. Whenever I want to pet it, I can. And whenever I want to be alone, it can go about its business. So that's what I did. I got the cat. But the cat, I felt like he was like my soulmate. I swear, that cat was like my soulmate. I actually have a journal where it's called 1111. And my cat is on there. And it's me as well. But as soon as I got the cat, I started noticing the number 1111. And it doesn't matter what time, like when I wake up, you know, it was doing C19. So I would sleep in because I was an essential worker. So on the days that I sleep in and I'll wake up, my cat will wake me up. And he always licked my hands and his tongue feels so weird, but he always lick my hands to wake me up. And every time I wake up, it would be the same exact time, as if he knows the time to wake me up. It was so weird. It was very, very weird. But anyways, I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. This cat was an indoor cat. I could be calling the cat and searching the entire apartment. I never see Shango, never ever see Shango. I will look under all cabinets, under the bed, everything. I cannot find him anywhere. And they will just pop up out of nowhere. He'll just pop up out of nowhere. And sometimes at night times, I believe, I remember y'all, I told you a story about how I had like an incubus that was basically having with me in my dreams and stuff. And when I had the black obsidian, the black tourmaline that cracked, and it was hot by the side of my bed. Anyway, so my cat Shango would literally start going crazy during the time when I felt like the activities were happening in my house. He would start going crazy as if he could see what I wasn't seeing. And I think a lot of cats are able to see further than the human eyes can see. Like, they can see into dimensions, in my opinion, and also they can see when there's something around. And people do say that too, that cats can see, ghosts. Dogs too, they can see ghosts, they can see like supernatural things that is in your home. But I believe my cat used to notice whenever there was something, and sometimes I'll wake up and he'll be sleeping next to me as like my protector. Like, he would literally sleep next to me, try to protect me. But whenever I was having those with the incubus, in my opinion, that's what it was, he would come and he would lick my hands and try to calm me down and even try to wake me up. And I could feel it, but I couldn't wake up. So, but anyways, that's my little story about my little cat. But yeah, I do believe cats are able to go in and out of dimensions and see things that we as humans cannot see. And I do believe that cats have actually evolved into what they are now. And if I can tell anyone anything right now, is adopt a cat. Because a lot of shelters, and that's what I did. I went to a shelter and I adopted him. A lot of shelters have mostly cats because people don't want cats, and especially black cats. People don't like to adopt black cats because a lot of people just look at them as evil, as bad luck. As a matter of fact, cats are good luck, especially black cats. So what I was going to say is that if you need a pet, go to a shelter and adopt a cat, a black cat if possible, because there's more black cats in the shelters than any other cat, because people are so afraid of black cats. So I hope this video helped you to see cats in a different light, in a better light, if anything. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Love you guys so much. Thanks.
So this is another what the fuck session with a cat. And I'm gonna read you the whole thing, not the whole session, but her mom wanted me to ask her if she can see into other realms, and we were down the rabbit hole. Okay. And I'm literally gonna read you everything from me asking her that question. So I talked to a cat named Chloe Marie. Of course, it was a cat. She was living. So I said, your mom wants to know if you see into other realms. And she said, of course I do. Who is she kidding? I'm a cat. We all do. I can access any dimension. I can see the various ones. I can flow back and forth. I can leave my body and come back. I can do 1,000 different things humans can't do. Well, you could if you knew how. I said, what do you mean if we knew how? She said, you can't harness that part of your brain, that part of you that can astral travel, that can dip between dimensions, see beyond the veil. I said, what does that mean? She said, it means you have the ability to harness your inner self, your soul, and travel through dimensions to see what is not there. Well, I take that back, to see what is there that you cannot see with your eyes. I said, like spirits? She said, yes, like spirits. Some advanced souls, very advanced, are able to do this in human form. A select few, and I mean a very small amount. Most humans can't, and you're really not supposed to, because that is not what life is about. You're supposed to be here in this realm, on this playground, living life in this space, and seeing only this dimension, this timeline, this space you are in. I said, okay, are you saying that there's more than one timeline? She said, there is no time. So to say multiple timelines, it is hard to explain. And then she told me to take my dog out because he was crying. And I was like, no, like, I'm just going to try to like wait it out. And she's like, take your dog out, like, just come back. So I did. I said, okay, so you're saying there are multiple timelines, but time isn't real. So can you explain that more? She said, everything is now, everything is happening now. So everything that is going to happen has already happened and we can access it, but you can't. I said, are you saying you can access the future? She said, it's not the future because the future is happening now. You're confused. Yeah. She said, let me explain it this way. You have a lamp and you turn it on, then you turn it off. You've already turned it on and off a million times. You've already given it away. It just hasn't happened in this timeline yet, meaning a past and future does exist in this timeline because you can't access the past and future now like I can. And I said, because everybody's always mad that I like don't talk to these cats for longer. So like the session went way over where I'm deep diving into this. I said, so you know what's going to happen in the future is what you're saying? And she said, I can access it, yes. I said, okay, so can you tell me what will happen in the future? And she said, you already know, the earth will be destroyed. Now this references another session I had with a cat who was explaining how life is a playground and like earth will be destroyed, but it's been destroyed like a ton of times already. And it was really confusing, but that's what she's referencing. I have a video about that. I said, I don't mean that future. I mean, like, I don't know, 5 years from now. She said, I can access it, yes, but I choose not to. I could, please believe I could. I can see, but humans aren't supposed to know until they can figure it out themselves. I said, meaning? She said, meaning you will develop into a being that can access the past and future. You just haven't evolved to it yet. You are where you are supposed to be within the level you are at. Some people are able to access it, but it is such a minute amount, a minuscule amount. And you cannot trust it. It scares you. The paranormal, the unexplained, humans cannot handle it at this time, not at the brain level you are at. And I said, are you saying our brains need to evolve more before we're able to do all this stuff?
Did you know that I will sometime sneak a peek through the eyes of cats? Because they can see interdimensionally and are open to the idea of harmonizing with many different extraterrestrial consciousness forms in such a way that they, while they look like they're just innocently walking around and looking at you and lying in the corner and sunbathing, may actually be extraterrestrial probes. This is why, in ancient times, cats were considered the familiars of those who practiced the concept of magic and wizardry, because it was instinctively understood that they were capable of bridging physical and non-physical reality and allowing beings from other levels to, in a sense, see through their eyes and learn things and communicate in various ways. Knowing this, we will suppose you will probably never look at your cat the same way again. From time to time, we actually do have the ability to purr. What you don't know about that, though, is that's another form of communication that we have to a different life form that we're connected to that we haven't talked about before. And will not talk about now.
Y'all, let me give y'all the heads of the day, bro. Bastet, the energy of Bastet is here, you feel what I'm saying? Bastet, whatever you want to call it. Our energy is here and it's coming, you feel what I'm saying? So in order to harness this energy and connect with Bastet, you feel what I'm saying? From my experience. If you see a cat today, bro, feed it, bro. I'm talking about, especially a black cat. If you see a black cat today, especially a black cat, feed it. Black cats are not bad luck. Black cats are good luck. You know? If you look right here, Bastet is the ancient Egyptian goddess of my folks who who rules love, beauty, music, self-indulgence, sensuality, as well as protection, cats, perfume, ointments. She protected the home from evil spirits, diseases, especially those related with children. Right here it also says Bastet was the goddess of protection, pleasure, and the bringer of good health. And if you know about her, you know she plays the sistrum, you feel what I'm saying? Okay, y'all give y'all offerings to Bastet. However y'all give y'all offerings, y'all do that, you feel what I'm saying? My way, the altar stuff, you feel what I'm saying? It's there sometimes with me, sometimes it ain't. But my way that I really do this is through nature, you feel what I'm saying? Like, have a natural connection with nature, you feel what I'm saying? So if a cat comes to you today, that Bastet energy, go ahead and, you feel what I'm saying? Go ahead and do what you gotta do, you feel what I'm saying? Especially a black cat. A black cat out of all cats, that's definitely a Bastet if you see a black cat. You don't have to be a black cat, but a black cat, that's her signature, you feel what I'm saying? It's like Michael Jordan wearing Jordans and playing basketball. You're like, Michael Jordan, he gonna have on some Jordans in his signature. And when he playing basketball, he ain't got to wear Jordans, but he gonna have them on when he playing. If he wears something else, it's okay, but he most of the time gonna have some Jordans on. But most of the time, she gonna appear as a black cat. And to take it even further, to get even more specific, you're definitely a black cat with green eyes. I had my little experience with Bastet today, you feel what I'm saying? She was very much loving to me today. Way more loving than she usually is, you feel what I'm saying? Cause I got Bastet with me at all times, you feel what I'm saying? She done been in my dreams and everything. Bastet be with me, you feel what I'm saying? But she's with me today, you feel what I'm saying? She with me all the time, but she was very, very lovely today, and I'm like, you must be something up. And then you feel what I'm saying? And I found out that other people experiencing Bastet, like on Kosher, Markosha, if you said Markosha, Bastet appeared in Markosha dreams. And Bastet appeared in my dream a lot. You feel what I'm saying? She come to me a lot in my dreams. Before she even was friendly with me like she is now, like the physical Bastet, the cat Bastet, before she was even friendly with me like she is now, she was putting in my dreams, being friendly to me. Then as I go on in life, that same cat I seen in my dreams coming to me in real life, bro. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I know that's Bastet. And she been in my dreams just like last year, sending me messages, you feel what I'm saying? And so with that being said though, y'all go fuck with my folks. Go get harness that energy and go fuck with my folks, you feel what I'm saying? Go show Bastet some love, you feel what I'm saying? Especially if they're your ancestors, you feel what I'm saying? Cause them my ancestors. I love y'all, it's you guys Amari. Truth, love, duality, peace, and holiness. Stay true to yourself, stay righteous.
So the other day I was out with my girlfriend and she was like, girl, what is going on? It seems like everybody's attention is on you. And then somebody sent me a free drinks. So I had to pull her aside and say, girl, it's because of my eau de root oils that I've been using. So this is my little thing where I mix the oils and keep them in here and then just put it on, on my neck, my heart, and like my wrist. But these are the oils that I've been using, and as you can tell, I am a fan of Eau de Roots. I've been using their products for such a long time, and I swear by their products. So this is the attraction oil, and what I do is I like to mix my oils. Mix my oil in the little shell, and I'll put them in my thing here, and whenever I'm getting ready to go out, I'll put a little bit on, and I'll completely forget that I have some attraction oil in there until like people start sending me like free drinks or sending my friends free drinks, like all of us at the table, and or people will come up and say, oh my gosh, you smell so amazing, what are you wearing? And I have to say, Eau de Roots have been literally doing her thing. I have to be quite honest, because I don't just use the oils, but I also use their candles as well. Now I know a lot of people might think that, oh, love and attraction candles are to like cast a love spell on someone. This video is sponsored by Eau de Roots, and you can use the code Jenny10 for 10% off. So when it comes to love candles, you can actually do a love and attraction ritual for like jobs, and or you do it for yourself. So you cast a love and attraction spell on yourself to attract love towards you. So you become a magnet for love, basically, right? Instead of like doing a love spell on someone, which y'all know how I feel about doing love spells on people. But yeah, so it's all about your intentions when you're working with candles. And these candles are so beautiful, and when I tell you, oh, they smell divine. Literally, they smell so nice. And it's already charged, and all you have to do is basically set your intentions to the candle and tell it what to do. I remember I burned one for a brand deal, and I got it.